What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pack Rations. I'm your host, Chef Chris, aka Mr. Bojangle. So today we're taking it kind of classic Western with this double barbecue bacon smash burger. It's one of my absolute favorites. Um, can't do a burger without fries, so we're also going to show you guys how to do some real nice homemade fries. So why don't we just get right into it here? Switch up my camera so that you guys can see what's going on. Still kind of getting a good layout here. I'm still making some adjustments as we go, so bear with me. You can't see my full stove this time, but you can at least see the main workspace, and we'll kind of talk about what we're doing. Play a little bit of a musical pan, so to speak, but that's all right. All right, so first, the potatoes for the homemade fries, okay? So we're starting with this first because this is going to take the longest. It's got the most steps. What I would recommend with the potato is do this at least the first half of this, maybe the day before, even an hour or two in advance. That's kind of what I was doing, just getting some ready to kind of do the kitchen magic, so to speak, so you guys can see this quick. All right, so the potato, I mean, obviously I just have a half here, but I highly recommend you go with quarters. And then, so this is where we're going to start with how thick you want your fries. Okay, so it's all up to you where you want. So if you like nice steak fries, that's your call. But kind of standard French fry thickness, about a quarter inch, okay, or an eighth of an inch, excuse me. Okay, I'm going to do that a couple times until we get to the end. I can't really get a fry out of that, so I'm going to put that to the side. Okay, same thing on this half. This is, again, just to get to that desired length or width of French fry that you like, okay? Now I'm just going to take these half at a time just to keep it safe because I want you guys to not lose any fingertips. It's not fun. Okay, same thing though. So just kind of going with that standard French fry length. Now I've got 3 here, so it's trying to slide on me. So I'm changing my grip here, keeping the tips of my fingers flat outward, but I'm grabbing the outsides of it so that middle row doesn't try to slip on me. Okay. One more time, because that's still kind of thick. Just like so. Okay. I can use those. That I'm not gonna use that. But now you can see we've got those nice consistent French fries. Okay. And if you want to cut them in half, I mean, by all means, I'm leaving them. Okay, so one more time, same thing. I'm going to adjust that grip, fingertips out. That way I can keep that middle one from sliding. If you guys need to just do 2 at a time, do 2 at a time. Or do 1 for that matter. There's no sense in you guys getting hurt. Okay? Again, I'm not going to worry about that one. These, I got some nice French fries here. Okay? So you can see my back pan in here. I'll bring it to the front. So again, always start your potatoes in cold water. So I've got cold salted water here. I'm going to drop the potatoes. We're going to get this going on a medium heat until it boils. Once it starts to boil, I'm going to put a timer on for 2 minutes. As soon as that timer goes off, I'm going to pull them out of the water, put them on a liner so they can drip dry, and put them in the fridge to kind of cool them down and help stop that cooking process, okay? So we're going to go with, like I said, medium heat. Get that start boiling, okay? So that's our potatoes, all right? So now let's start getting the onions ready for the onion straws. If you have gloves, I recommend gloves just because I don't want my hands to smell like onions, okay? All right, so I have a half an onion here. When you guys have that whole onion, so I recommend first taking off that end, not the root, okay? Because make sure you guys can see that. Not the root. I'm saving that root because that's what's going to hold the onion together while I'm cutting it, okay? So I have my whole onion. I'm giving myself that flat end. Then I'm going in half through the root, okay? Now I'm going to peel off that skin. We don't need that. I've discovered Mr. Ajax apparently likes onions. Get back, dude. Roll it out. You're not getting no raw onion. Go. Ridiculous. He's ridiculous. I think it's just food. Anything food he'll eat. Bud, you need to go somewhere. Okay. All right. So here's my peeled onion. Okay. So my next step, I'm gonna take that root off because I don't have to worry about it falling apart on me anymore. Okay. So now I've got top off, bottom off. Now for onion straws, I'm thinking of the end product. Okay. So I don't want super long onions that could potentially be hanging off the edges and just making it, look odd, kind of that sword of the eye, so to speak. So I'm going to take this in half. Okay. Now I'm going to come down and as thin as I can get it, because you want almost paper thin. Okay. So again, with the claw, move this over. So it's kind of opposite. So when I was holding it on the outside, I was keeping my fingertips outward. The claw, I'm keeping my fingertips kind of bent in. So the idea here, the knife is resting against my knuckle here. My fingertips are inward. I can never cut myself. I mean, that's the idea anyway, okay? But again, I'm going to try to get these as thin as we can. Hold it down, guys. Once it gets difficult to hold, I'm going to turn it just like you saw. It was sitting like this. I'm going to turn it like that. It gives me a little bit more room to grip. Now, while I'm doing this, so you can still kind of see my pot in the back here, I'm kind of keeping an eye on that out of the corner of my eye for it to start boiling. Okay, so again, now I'm down to this. This is where I'm going to switch back. Fingertips pointed outward on the both edges of this because that's still too thick for me. I want to cut that down a little bit. Fingertips out, and I'm going slow to make sure I don't cut my finger because nobody wants to cut finger. All right, so now for our onion straws, I just have a bowl of cold water here with some onions in it already, but because we're going to do a light dredge on these. Guys, sorry, I don't mean to yell on your guys' here either. Dogs are being a little rough today. Get it? All right. So really all this is doing is we want to make sure the onions are moist so they grab that flour so we can fry them up. So make sure you guys can see that. It's just a bowl of cold water and I just put the onions in. Again, just want to make sure that they're nice and moist to be able to pick up that flour. Okay. So next, before we actually start dredging the onions here, I got my flour mixture. So all this is, I'll try to bring it a little bit closer so you can see that. All this is flour, and I seasoned it up. So I've got some salt, some pepper, some granulated garlic, and the flour. All right, that's it. Okay. All right, I've got another pan in the back here. So this is a small cast iron, but I'm going to get this heating up, and I'm going to put some of my bacon fat in there, and that's what we're going to fry our. Just block the camera there. That's what we will use to fry up our onions. So I recommend cooking bacon in the oven. It's less mess, less hassle, less headache. It really is. So I cook it at 350 for about 20 minutes. Then I flip the bacon about another 10 minutes until it's, almost as crispy as I like it. But also I can save all this beautiful bacon fat and I can use this for anything. So this is just pure bacon fat, but we're going to use this to fry our onion straws. So just going in with a nice dollop in here because we're just doing a shallow fry. So we don't need a deep fry. We're not going that far. Okay. So I got my bacon fat in the pan. This is also nice because this will give us some good seasoning in this pan here. Okay. So while that's heating up, I've just got it on a low heat. I'm going to start heating up our main cast iron here. Got some paper towel mess on there from when I wiped it. Don't use paper towels on your cast iron because it just shreds it and leaves paper mess everywhere. So for my cast iron pan, I am going medium low. I'll let that start heating up. Okay, and what I'm going to do first with this cast iron is, like I said, I cooked my bacon off yesterday, so I've got all my stuff here. You guys can see that. But I partially cooked the bacon, so it's just about where I want it. But by putting it back in the pan at this point, I can get it a little bit crispier again and render out some more of this fat, and I can use that to as the base for us to start frying our burgers. That's another restaurant hack. There is usually in the mornings they cook all their bacon off or heat it up on the flat top. That gives you that base season in the morning, plus your grease for that nonstick coating. And then you just fry everything on it from there. Burgers, eggs, whatever. It's delicious. All right, so again, I'm trying to render out some more of this fat out of this bacon. So I don't want to wait till the pan's super hot and then put the bacon in. I'm putting the bacon in while the pan's still kind of cool. That way it can render out more of that fat. Okay. I'm going to monitor the heat on everything here. So I'm going to take that down, make sure it's a solid medium-low heat. I was a little on the high side there, keeping an eye on my potatoes in the back. We're not to a boil yet, but that's okay. The idea is we're doing a nice, my arm's blocking everything. I'll go left-handed here. What we're doing is we're going for a nice solid blanch with these. We just want to remove the majority of that starch. That's all we're really trying to do. Okay, so they're not quite ready yet. All right, and I'll show you guys this. So my bacon fat's melting down beautifully. A nice pool in there. So once that's all melted up, we can fry up our onion straws. We'll take that heat up just a little bit. So I have it on low, taking it up just a pinch. And I'm going to get a paper towel lined plate ready for these onion straws when they come off. Alright, get another glove on because again, I don't like my hands to reek of onions all day long. It's just not pleasant. Alright, so our bacon fat's pretty much all melted. So you guys can see the onions and everything here. So what we want to do is maintain that wet hand, dry hand for our onions. Or, we're just doing a simple light dredge, but still, we don't want to make a gummy mess all over our hands. So we don't need a ton of onions. I mean, I cut up that whole onion, but I can use these for soups and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to try to squeeze most of that water off. And then I'm going in the flour here. So that's my wet hand. Now I'm coming in with the dry hand. Give these a nice little toss. Make sure they're good and coated. All right, now I'm going to go in to my strainer or colander. That's definitely not a colander. Still getting a little camera nerves. What can I say? All right, so we'll get these in here. Because what we want to do is we want to sift all that excess flour out of here. So now we have our lightly dredged onions, and those will go in the oil as soon as it's nice and hot. Again, we'll do that simple test. Try to drop some water in the oil. So I'm trying to get some water on my finger from the onions here. There we go. No, it did not do anything, so it's not quite ready yet. Take that heat up a little bit more. So I'm going to keep this because what I will do is when I take the onion straws out, I'll put them back in this to kind of strain off some of that excess grease. Okay. You can see our bacon's doing its thing over here. We're going to give it a flip just to make sure we're not burning nothing. Smells delicious. You cannot deny the amazing aroma of cooking bacon. And again, all we're doing is we're rendering out some more of that fat. That's going to give us that base coat for our when we start doing our burgers here. All right, now Frenchy fries here in the back. I forget I'm blocking the camera with that arm. I got to use this arm here. You can see. I'm going to go ahead and pull these because I don't want them to go too far. So like I said, we want a nice blanch. I think at the start I did say boil, but we want to do a nice blanch. So we're just trying to remove the majority of that starch. These are just starting to get soft. That's exactly what we want. It's great. Let's check our oil back here for the, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but popping. That's what we want, okay? So now I want to go with my onion straws. Careful, that grease will pop up a little bit if you go too fast. We'll let those fry up. I'll bring that over here in just a moment so you guys can take a look at that once they get a little color on them. Clean up my mess here. Always clean as you go. Always. And again, just keeping an eye on this bacon, making sure it's not burning. Flipping it, rotating it as I need to. And I feel pretty good about that. So what we're going to do, so I got this paper towel here. I'm going to put the bacon on half of it. Now I still don't want to go with the burgers just yet because we're still out on just about everything else. So that's all right though. Okay, so we got some nice, beautiful bacon. You guys can see that. Trying to get it in the camera there for you. See if my I think my camera might have switched again. Let me see how. Oh. No, we're good. I think we're good there. My YouTube's just lagging, or it's behind. Just trying to make sure everything looks good on from what you guys can see. Still trying to get used to keeping it monitoring everything. Stir the onion straws a little bit. Let those keep going. Yeah, I think my camera angle switched again because it's not filling your screen. All right, well, we've got a minute to kill here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to my other camera while I play around with the phone one and get that fixed. You guys aren't missing much, trust me. There. That should take care of it. Let's see how that looks. There we go. Now you guys can see more. Turn my fan on for my... Yeah, there we go. That looks so much better. Now you guys can actually see what's going on. All right, cool. Turning this down on low here. That way it doesn't burn on me. Because, again, I've got that nice, beautiful bacon fat in there. It's going to be that base flavor. So let's move on back to our potatoes. Okay, we got our onion straws going. Pan's ready for the burgers, but we're not quite ready yet. That's all right. Actually, what I will do is we'll use some of this beautiful bacon fat since we got that pan ready to go. We'll go ahead and toast off our buns just to get those out of the way. So what I'm doing is I'm using this one's not cut very well. Here we go. Using that bacon fat to kind of bring over where I need it. Get those a nice little toast. I got my heat on low. Okay. Getting some nice color on our onion straws, but we're not quite there yet. Potatoes are ready. All right, so what I did, kind of, again, that kitchen magic, so to speak, so you guys can see this. What I have here is, these are the ones that are getting ready to, that need to go, or sorry, excuse me. These are the ones that came out of the water, so these have been blanched. These have been fried once. So that's the key to getting restaurant quality French fries. Essentially, is you have to blanch and then fry twice. So these were done at a lower temp, about 250, fried for about 2 minutes, pulled them out to cool. So blanched, these are ready for the second fry. So I'm going to take these. These are going to go in the back pan where I've got my oil, so they can fry up the rest of the way. I want you guys to be able to see what that looks like when they're done. Okay. I'm going to take out our blanched fries here. And you can see I've got, this is just the rack out of my air fryer. If you don't have, like a cookie rack or something like that, use the rack out of your air fryer. Okay. So what you want though is you want something that the excess water oils can drip off of while it's cooling, so it doesn't create that pool around it. Okay. So we'll set this, and I'm just going to put this in the cooler and in the fridge and let it cool down. Now, if I was in a restaurant doing that, I would take them out of the water into an ice bath first. That small amount, I'm not concerned about putting in my fridge and making everything else hot. That's the thing you got to keep in mind. If you're doing a lot, then you got to monitor that and be aware of that. We're just doing a little tiny bit, so it's not a problem. Onion straws are just about ready here. Start pulling some of these out. Check my buns. Beautiful. Beautiful golden. That's what we want. That one's a little dark, but that's all right. Looks good. I dig it. I dig it. Okay, so buns are toasted. Onion straws are coming out. Fries are coming out. Just about another minute or so on the fries. Those will be done. Those are looking good. I'm excited. So I'll bring this over so you guys can see it real quick. This is our onion straws. Bring that over so you see they got some nice color on them. If you want to do deep fried, fully breaded, by all means. These are just, again, that lightly dredged and fried. Okay. Bring over the fries so you can see those, how they're looking so far. So again, this is that secret to getting those real, actual, crispy homemade fries. So look at these already. They still need just a little bit more, but you can just see the color difference. When you think of if you guys ever made homemade fries before, they usually just get really dark and they're soggy. Like, they're good, but so these already, you can see the difference already. Okay. All right, I'm going to get another plate with some more paper towels. We are just about ready for the smash. Okay, we turn the fire off on this guy. We're done with that. I'm going to put these on a plate and bring them back over for you guys to see again. The fan keeps picking up. I've got all the burners going this time, so you guys can kind of see that, though. I'm trying to make sure you can get a good visual this time, but and always make sure you salt immediately. Okay, so always salt immediately. I've got a little mixed seasoning that I'm using, but it's got salt in there. Okay, put those over to the side here. So to show you guys, or to talk to you guys about that again, so blanch your potatoes, take them out of the water, cool them down. Okay, Once they are cool, you want to go for that first fry in a low temperature. So I've got my oil on a medium-low heat right now. Okay. Let's bring our fries back out. And we're going to go with the ones that I had blanched but not fried yet. So these guys over here, you can see these ones I saved. So we're going to go in that oil for 2 minutes. Okay, let's set a timer. 2 minutes. Make sure they don't burn. You can't overload your pan with these either, because you got to make sure the potato gets a good fry on all sides of it. Okay. We're done with this. I'm going to move it out of the way. Be careful because things are hot. Okay, I'm done with this one, so I'm going to move it. And actually, since I've got that back one, never mind. I was going to try to bring that other pin over for you so you guys can see it, but there's just not enough room with that big full cast iron on the front here. So it's all right. It's all right. All right. These got about another 40 seconds on them. And then we're going to pull them, put them on that plate, pop them back in the fridge. That way they can cool down. Okay. So we have our buns toasted. We got our bacon and onions done. We've got our fries working. Okay. I say we are ready to smash some burgers. I'm going to start with these miniature ones first. Give you guys a guess at who these are going for. Okay, that was my timer for my French fries. So I'm going to pull these out of the oil, my fries that is. Put them on that rack that I have. I'm sitting on a paper-lined plate. And I'm going to go in with some more. So this is the key to doing these is do them in batches. Do them in batches. You do not want to overcrowd your pan. So make sure they got enough room to, what one of my chef instructors used to say, percolate. Make sure they got room to percolate. I'm breaking my own rule here, and that I got like 2 little ones left that I just don't want to leave on the plate here. So we'll be all right. We'll be all right. I'm making sure they all get good and coated in that oil before they sit. Now keep a really close eye on them. Okay. So we got that going. So I took those out of the oil, and they're going back in the cooler to cool down. Okay. See where I put my spatula. So these are going to be for the puppers, so we're not going to season these at all. Give them a good little flick here. I know it's almost ridiculous. Like I kind of feel ridiculous even, but it's for the dogs. For the dogs. But that's what you're looking for essentially is you want to get that nice sear before you try to turn it. If you have a press, use a press. I do not. Lift off the spatula. That's all right. It's for the dogs. Okay. Try not to get my counter all greasy here. Again, keeping an eye on these potatoes, the fries, especially since I did kind of put a lot in this pan this time. Make sure I'm moving them around. Make sure they get a nice fry around all the sides, all the edges. One more time on the fries. So blanch for a few minutes, just to remove the starch, cool them, fry at a low temperature for a couple minutes, cool them again, and then you go for your final fry, that typical 350 standard, temperature. That nice, see, that's what we're going for, those. You want that nice, beautiful crust to form on the outside. That's what you're looking for. For the dogs, they got to have their rations. All right. So we'll leave those to the side so they can cool for the dogs. All right, time for the real smash. All right, so for these, because they're more full-size patties, make sure you guys don't burn yourselves. I did take that heat up just a little bit. I don't know if you saw that. You can see all that extra smoke coming off, so I'm going to take my fan up a little bit there. Again, I do have a very sensitive smoke detector, so if it happens to go off, I apologize in advance. Everything is under control. I assure you, it's all fine. All right. So I did mine about a quarter ounce. You do yours however you guys feel your desired size of bird. Let's move some of this stuff out of our workspace here. I am going to go ahead and make both of these, both doubles that is. I'm going to devour one myself, and then I need to do a photo after we wrap up here. And that's I've got to do some more photos for the channel. And I really missed that opportunity on the last one. That's all right. Those are ready to come out. So before I take these out, I want to go ahead and crank that fire back up to about medium. That way the oil can start heating while I'm removing. Okay? Just taking these fries out of the oil back here. I'm going to put these in the fridge again. Gotta let them cool back down. Oil's heating up for the regular fry. These are ready for a smash. I've got to get a different spatula. That's going to kill me. Okay, we'll just go right in the middle here. Didn't realize my metal spatula was just quite this long. I'm not able to get a good smash in here. Again, be careful that popping grease. It is hot. All right, I'm switching. I'm switching it up. You gotta know when to switch tools. It's better to use that metal because you can actually scrape underneath, but that's just not working. I'm not getting a good smash here. So. I smashed too late. I cannot smash late. That's what happens. Sorry, this is why we're doing both. All right, so our oil is back ready. So the first half that I took out of the grease, you go back in. Remember, I did that first little bit. So that's going back in the oil. Let those fry up. Put these back in the fridge. We're just waiting for that wonderful crust. You can see it here. We're waiting for that to set on the bottom side. See how we're looking. It'll tell you when it's done. Not yet. Not yet. Getting close, see? Getting close. Not quite though. I shouldn't have to fight it. Alright, so while that's doing its thing, bring this up and we'll start building our bun a little bit. Gotta stay ahead of the game. Stay ahead of service. Okay, so you're welcome to use whatever barbecue sauce you like. I am a very big believer in the sweet baby ribs. So no, that is not paid promotion, whatever. I just really like the sweet baby ribs. So that's what we're using. Okay. Top and bottom. Top and bottom. Give our fries a quick spin again. Make sure they're not burning. Gotta let them percolate, as the chefs say. Okay, so we got our sauce. Bring that over a little bit more. Top these however you guys like. I'm going with some shredded lettuce. And again, staying ahead of service. Oh, these buns are small. It's unfortunate. You just have to break the bacon in half and pile it on. The more bacon, the better. Okay. All right, these are going to be ready for a flip. Again, make sure you watch that handle. These cast iron pans are hot. Look at that beautiful crust. Look at that. It's beautiful. That one, yeah. Now, the key to being able to do that second set of burgers and maintaining that beautiful crust that we're looking for, I'm going to drain all this burger fat out of here. Fries are just about ready. They're looking pretty scrumptious, if I say so myself. Put these guys with a little bit of my signature burger seasoning. I can't give you that recipe, sorry guys. I'd be out of the business. Okay. Now, I do want to make sure I get good coverage on that seasoning for both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these one more time. Hit this side. Fries are ready to come out. Give these a flip. That way, you want to make sure your seasonings actually get some heat to them. That way, it can actually release the aromas that are in the seasoning itself. If you just do it cold, it's still there, but it's just not as good. All right, so we'll pull our first set of fries out. Well, I guess technically our second batch of fries here. Pull those out. Let you guys take a look. So try to get them over so you can see that nice color there. And they're not too dark, they're actually crispy, they're not soggy. Okay. We get our next batch in. These are kind of rushed, so you want to make sure they have time to actually cool in the fridge. So these are the ones that we just took out of the oil a couple minutes ago. They really need that extra time to cool, but we're going to go ahead and get these finished off here. But again, that second fry is a lower temp. I've got this cranked up to that medium level. That way I can actually get that good solid fry on these. Okay. Coming back to our burgers. These are ready for some cheese. I've got Swiss. You guys can use whatever you like. Cheddar. Cheddar is always better, but for a good barbecue bacon burger, I just feel like Swiss is it, you know? Move that out of the way. Bacon for our next burger here. I should have got some bigger buns. These are rather small, actually. Okay, so we'll take that out. Pile on our lettuce here. Give our Frenchy fries a quick toss. And like I said, we want to drain all that beef fat off of there. So I'm going to get another bowl out. That way I can drain that out here. That's not going to work. Thought I had enough paper towels there that it would take away that heat, but it just didn't. So, drain out all that grease. I am going to grab that middle spatula again. Those cheese bits, I don't want that on my burger. The rest of it's fine. That can come out for the next couple packets. So what I did is, I just scraped out where the cheese melted. I just scraped that out of there. Going with the next ones. Finish up this first burger. So you see we've got that nice, beautiful melted Swiss. We've got our bacon. We've got our barbecue. We're going to hit it with some of these wonderful onion straws. Just like so. Top it with the top bun. And a burger like this, the only good way to really serve it, pop a nice steak knife in there. Again, I wish I would have got some bigger buns. That would have looked a lot better. But that's the way to serve something like that. Okay, go on this beautiful blue plate that I have here. Just like so. Now we're waiting on our fries to finish up. They are close. They're very, very close. Give our burgers a flip and smash. That smash worked a lot better. Okay. Those do its thing. Fries are looking pretty beautiful. Go just a little bit more. Get my other thing of salt out, so I gotta refill my container over there. But look at that, guys. Like, that does look pretty damn good if I say so myself. I would personally, I want more barbecue, and I want to see the barbecue like dripping down. Like that's like that prime, you know. Yeah, these didn't get that nice crust. We had all that set from our first burger, so these ones didn't get that nice crust, but that's all right. That's all right. Fries are ready to come out. Take these out of here. Salt immediately after removing the fries from the oil. Okay, so again, we're going to salt coming out of the oil here. Give them a little toss. Make sure we get both sides nice and coated. Here are your high quality fries, house made fries, okay? So again, these are going to be that nice crispy outside and that actual soft baked potato on the inside, okay? That's the way to do your fries. Again, they're not like super dark. They actually have that nice soft baked potato inside. That's the way to go. Dog. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on. Go. I don't need to trip over puppy feet. Good boy. Stay back, dude. Stay back. Not for dogs. You have yours and it's coming. Okay. Bring this over for you guys to see over here. That nice bacon barbecue burger. Those house-made fries. Highly recommend. Try to get it back in the good on this camera here, even so you guys can really get that good look. I can't wait to dig into that. All right, let's get some cheese on these other two patties here. It's not for puppy. You will get yours. You will get yours, mister. Dress this other one up real quick. Get back, dude. Get back. So again, always put that one that you deem more pretty on top. That's your serving one. Well, what happened to my kitchen cam or my sniper one? Hang on a second here. Let me see what happened. Still showing good on that. So why? Huh. I'll troubleshoot that. I'm not sure why it switched off on me. It's back to this camera, which is fine. It's fine, but or am I looking at the wrong thing? I'm looking at the wrong thing. All right, we'll get it together one of these days, guys. Promise. All right, I'm going to. Yeah, that looks amazing. I'm ready to dig into this. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Before I stuff my face with this, I want to get some good pictures for the channel here and the page so we can just show it off a little bit. So I'm going to do that. I'm signing off. Appreciate you guys watching. Stick around for the next episode. We'll switch over the camera here real quick. There we go. So again, thank you guys for watching. Stick around for next week's menu drop. That'll be coming in a couple of days. I think it's time to do something outside the cast iron. We've used this for 3 weeks now. I just think it's time to show a little something different. So again, thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe. If you have any questions, reach out. Until next time, thank you guys.